Oh yeah, in this video, we are talking about the top 5 characters that you could throw your resources in with confidence that they will give you some future value. Yes, future-proof characters, guys. I'm discussing that with my brother OhEmGee, and if you're ready for it, find that like button. And OhEmGee, tell him what to do, brother.
Look, Mom, I'm on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok.
ValleyFlyin.
Oh yeah, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. And in this video, we are talking about ways to future-proof your roster. And I am joined by my brother OhEmGee, Mobileboomer, No Boo Boomer.
Yep.
You got many different names. Creepy
No.
Kevin. There's a bunch of names that you have.
I was thinking of a new name, Jody High Roller, but I think it's taken.
I am not sure. Is that another one of your inside jokes that I have no idea what you're talking about, or is that real?
Okay, well, there's this guy named Riff Raff, and he has literally like 40 different names, and I've got about a dozen. So I'm working on having as many names as Riff Raff, and then we'll be good.
All right, well, that is a goal here, but what we wanted to talk about in this video, and we talked about your list on your channel, but in this video, we're talking about the future-proof characters, characters that I think are going to be good for you to future-proof your roster. Now, we didn't discuss a timeline of how long these characters are going to be future-proofing your roster, so you have a little different picks than I did, but I see there's some similarities.
So I did 5 and you did 5, and then I've not seen yours, and when we did my video, you hadn't seen my 5, and I hope
I didn't tell. Well, there's a couple characters that I say, oh, they're overlapping, but yeah.
Okay,
anyway.
But it was independently done list, so let's go.
Let's go. All right, so my first character, Black Bolt. Now, the reason I'm picking him, and I realize that he is very, very risky to be a future-proof character because, like you said on your video, he has stats. He has current static stats that don't really adjust. They're not percentage-based for his damage or anything like that. But the reason I want to talk about him is his passive right here. You cannot revive this character, and we've already seen the big bad character, Dr. Doom. We've already seen this passive right here. On enemy summon, apply disrupted, clear positive effects on the summoner. That is already a counter to Dr. Doom, and this makes him a counter to Ultron. So there's 2 big bad characters in the game. He is a hard counter to them, plus he is a legendary, and we know Dark Dimension 4 needs the legendary characters. I don't see him going off on the meta anytime soon. I think someday it will happen, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. And I know you weren't a fan of Black Bolt being one of your characters, but let me know why. What is the argument against this, and then we'll get to some more conventional picks here.
Okay, I think first of all, I agree that he's going to be very effective against Dr. Doom. He is currently effective against Ultron. I believe he's going to have a long term. He's probably my single favorite character in the game. That disrupted works so well against Mr. Sinister and even Hela, right?
Yes.
And it's going to work against Doom, right? It's a good mechanic, and I think that my video, I was looking at characters that were going to scale well over time. And when I thought of future proof, I guess this is a good pick. But I did talk about it in my video, why I didn't put characters like Captain Marvel and Black Bolt. I guess you have to watch the video. I don't know how much I want to talk about it here, but it has
go watch this video, guys.
Yeah, it has to do with stats that scale over time. And I think I was going from a perspective is like what characters are kit based rather than stat based, and I've always perceived Black Bolt as being mostly a stat based character. He's insane right now. Will he be insane 2 years from now is the question.
I don't know. We didn't really discuss a time frame when we were talking about this list. So I think at least in the next 6 months, you're very safe investing in Black Bolt. After that, I'm not sure who's coming to the game, but I think he is going to be in the meta conversation for at least the next 6 months because he does look like very important counter to Dr. Doom.
Yeah, I can't. Literally, this is my favorite character in the game. Like when I don't play him, I feel sad when someone drops below 25% health and they go into red. It's like
I get that as well.
How come they didn't die? So like because you're expecting that.
I have the same feeling. I'm like, wait, how come he's not getting hit? Oh, because I'm not using Black Bolt.
Oh no. Anyways, yeah, there's literally my favorite character in the game. So I can't dismiss him that much.
All right. Well, I think this is a good pick for at least the next few months. But yeah, I know where you're going with your list. And boom, this is another character that you picked on your list here. And we discussed this. We've discussed this character being future-proof for a long time now because of this right here, his clone mechanic. No matter who comes to the game, Sinister will be able to clone him. Unless there's some new mechanic that, oh, you cannot clone this character. Until they start doing that to meta characters, then I think he is going to be in the meta conversation, because no matter who comes to the game, Ultron, Dr. Doom, whoever, he can clone him. And, you know, the stats aren't going to be exact like having that character, but having a strong character in addition to Sinister and whoever else you're bringing on the team, very, very powerful. And I think he's going to scale well for a long time, unless there is that thing that you cannot clone the character. So what are your thoughts on Mr. Sinister? I know he was one of your picks as well.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer in my opinion. We were worried a little bit about Mr. Sinister and the way that he wouldn't get the full benefit from ISO 8 as far as the clone not having any ISO class attached. So I guess the stats boost from ISO 8, fine. But clearly when one of the first things that came to mind when seeing Doom is that, oh, let's clone him, right? And that's the perfect example, is regardless of what character comes out next and next and next and next, he'll always be able to clone them. And that's always, most of the time, that's going to be useful. In very few situations, that's not useful. I just think, you see this happen all the time in PvP. You clone Phoenix or something, he's the best. He's great. And I think he's future-proof for sure. I don't see a lot of risk in upgrading this character.
No, I totally agree with you. Upgrade him, and he's going to be relevant for a while. Next one is another one that you picked as well, and I noticed you got your you upgrade a lot more of the T4s than I did. Yeah. But one of the reasons is the exact same thing that you mentioned here is this one, the speed. Minus 10% speed to all enemies. That is going to affect every enemy that she fights. And turn-based game, like you always mention, very important for this character and whoever's on her team to get reduced speed. It's always a weird matchup going against Emma, because unless you have these turn meters memorized in your head, you're like, oh, I'm not sure what the turn order is going to be when going against Emma. You mentioned this move as well, and I can't argue with this. Mind control. There's 3 characters that have mind control that I can think of off the top of my head. She is one of them, and you get the enemy with the most damage, and doesn't matter how strong the enemies are, they're gonna get hit by a strong enemy.
Her mind control is superior in a lot of different ways, because it targets the highest damage, whether ally or enemy. So, that a year from now, that will be doing more damage because there will be power creep. It'll scale well. Basically everything but her basic attack scales well, and her basic is not really meant to do damage anyways, as long as her, she's clearing away positive effects, which is fantastic. Everything about her is amazing, and she does have high stats right now as far as health and things like that. But even if her health was in the middle range, the rest, her special and her ultimate are going to scale for a long time.
Yeah, and even this diamond form, getting all that extra of armor and everything, it just makes her very, very strong, very hard to kill. She's always a nuisance because of all the things she does. Yes, she's going to be relevant for a long time. Let's move on.
For sure. Yep.
All right, Minerva. This is a character that is hard to get still, unfortunately. And when I had her at 2 stars, she was doing some work. And I still don't have her at 7 stars, but yeah, she has scaled well. She's been in the game. A few months will be 2 years, and she still is very, very relevant and doing damage. And I expect her to be a beast in Dark Dimension 4, mainly because of this move right here, stealing 15% health from all enemies, redistributing it. No matter how strong the enemies are, it is always a flat rate. And we mentioned the scaling. The word I like that you use in your video, scaling, because this is a percent-based damage, so it doesn't matter how high her stats are, but she's always going to steal 15% from the enemies. Very, very good. The ability to revive. If you make a mistake in a raid, or let's say one of your characters accidentally dies and gets focused down, you revive them. And revivers are always cool.
The only thing that's terrible about Minerva is in U7.5 when you have a super fast Daredevil and he basic attacks her to death and double taps her. There's nothing worse than him targeting her out of nowhere when it's just him and he deletes your Minerva at the end of one of the, oh God, it's the worst. I hate that.
It is. What do you think about her value at future proof?
Her health pool is the only thing that's lacking currently right now, and which is also a problem with characters like Shuri. Just the health pool is lacking. So if her kit scales clearly, but at some point there's going to be a need to protect her.
Yeah.
Because she can get one tapped pretty easily.
Yeah. When I had that 2-star Minerva, that was a big problem with her. So I still see that being a problem, especially with 3 red stars. But if you were lucky enough to get 7 gold and maybe 5 red on her, she should have some decent survivability, at least enough to get some things going for the team.
And neither of us have her at 7 red, and she's been or 7 gold, right? Neither of us have a 7 gold, right? And it seems like she never really needed gold or red stars to be effective. I mean, other than her health pool does affect her passive healing and from getting one shot. But other than that, her kit is amazing. Yes, absolutely.
I think she's going to scale. But now this last one took me a little while, and this one I don't see scaling as far out as some of these other picks like Sinister and Emma. But I think in at least the 3 to 6 month range, I think this character is going to scale well. And one of the reasons is boom. She just got a new tag. She just got a new X-Men tag, which makes me think something big is coming for this character. Now, she's already a very, very strong standalone character. Yeah. I could think of PvP battles where I've won him single-handedly with this character, which means that if she gets placed on the proper team, she's going to wreck some shop. Her kit is amazing. You got this move right here, ability block, her passive. She's getting turn meter every time an enemy drops below 40% or below 50%. She's getting a lot of turn meter, so she is going very quickly. This attack, her ultimate is huge. It does have a long cooldown, but with all that turn meter she's gaining, she is a beast. And the main reason is because of this X-Men tag. I think she's going to scale well, at least in the next 3 to 6 months. What are your feelings on X23 in short term or long term?
I completely forgot about her on my list. We have a very different list, which is good to know.
It's good.
Yeah, because we have different. We actually approached this problem very differently, which I very much like. Yeah. Okay. The main thing about X23 is the turn meter game, when they, and that makes her a counter to summons and teams that are dependent upon summons, because she can really build an avalanche and snowball. Some of the stuff that she does against Hela with the undead Asgardian is absolutely silly. You know what I mean? It's just and then for her having the ability to pick off someone that's weak with her ultimate ability is quite nice. And then her special double taps if they have deflect. Fantastic.
I love it. Oh, fantastic. And this one right here, her basic. She's getting evade.
Yeah. Evade,
all the time. If you put the T4 in, she's always getting evade, which means if you get into a one-on-one situation with her,
it's basic attack.
You cannot kill her. You cannot kill her. So very strong.
She's a savage, man, without a doubt.
So that is my list. If you want to check out OhMgee's full list, make sure you check out his video and then come back to this channel and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of each list, guys. OhMgee, brother, tell them where they could find you if they don't already know.
On the interwebs. No, I think I'm on YouTube and Twitch. That's where we're.
All right. I'll try to find you. If I can find you, I'll put some links down below and you guys can check him out. We'll be looking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. What are future-proof characters for you that you are not afraid to invest in right now, ladies and gentlemen? I will see you guys next time. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go, brother. And make sure you guys subscribe. Let's get to 35,000 OhMgee ValleyFlyin out.